Bienvenidos, mi gente, and welcome to our bi-weekly, monthly, it's been all over the place. When we do it, we can do it. Episode of CafeConSexo, Galaei, Philly's one and only morning coffee and talking about sex show like we always do. You can catch us here on YouTube. We post new videos in every few weeks when we got some topics that we want to talk about. And we started the show, as folks know, because we realized that a lot of folks sometimes have sex on their mind and they don't have an avenue to talk about it. So we are the show here that we talk openly and explicitly to give you all the information and knowledge that you need to know. My name is Nikki Lopez. I am your host for the show. And I also work here at Galaei as one of the youth coordinators. As you see, I have some lovely guests that right next to me. And I'm going to have them introduce themselves today. So I'm actually going to go all the way over here. And if you can introduce yourself, fine gentleman that you are.
Of course. So my name is David, and I am an intern at Galaei. And I'm also a student at Westchester. Shout out. Woo-woo.
Westchester University is in the house. Yes. All right. And who do we have right here?
So my name is Bella Martinez. I'm representing the Centro. So I'm also doing, I intern at Galaei. It's awesome here. And here all we talk about is basically protection, sex, and all that stuff.
Wonderful.
So I'm doing like a project.
Where? You're doing a project?
Yes.
So is this a project that everybody has to do at El Centro or only you doing? What is it specifically that you're doing for your project?
I'm basically talking about, it's about my LTI, which is here.
All right, and what is LTI? For the folks out there in YouTube land that don't know what LTI is, what specifically is LTI for El Centro students?
Tuesdays and Thursdays, you go out and you search the first weeks of the semester, and you find a place where you feel comfortable and the person has time to actually work with you. And what you do there is you help them with their work, and also you, at the end of the semester, you do like a project based on what you learn here. And what I learned here is about sex, like great people here that, help me a lot.
Perfect. So for folks that are interested, you see here that there are schools that are doing awesome initiatives like LTIs that are giving students, high school students, real-world learning applications. So as you see here, Galaei is one of those sites for LTIs that they come in, they do their internships, and part of their internships is, as you see here, what we're doing is that they have to create a project of some sort that they can give to the organization or the company that they're working for, and something they can give back to El Centro. So this is what your project is all about. And now you mentioned briefly, you talked about, part of your project is about sex, about sexual health, which are all the things that Galaei talks about, especially amongst young people. Tell me why you specifically, Bella, were interested in talking more about sexual health amongst young people. Consider this our little teen version of the show, right? Well, why were you specifically interested in sexual health?
Myself I'm 16 years old, so I see there are teens out there that are having unprotected sex, and it's like a lot of STDs out there. It's even the new gonorrhea that came out. It's the bacteria that kills people. And it affects me because it could be my friends, my family, anybody. Anything that people is doing about this. Like, there's condoms in the store, there's a lot of protection. You could go to clinics like Galaei. It offers you HIV, and it offers you STD, some of the STD testing.
Okay.
And you can get protected. So it affects me because it's like a lot of like data that I was looking at through the internet, and I found like more than 50% of the young people has like, how much was it, like 19,000?
Yeah, so one of the things that Bella came up with is when she was doing her research, she found that in Philadelphia alone, there were over 19,000 cases of chlamydia outbreaks and infections amongst young people. Woo! That's a lot. That's huge. And when you hear a number like that, Bella, how does that make you feel?
It could be me. It could be anybody.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of people that have been infected, especially young people from like the ages to 12 to 19, which I was reading about, and that impact me because, it could be anybody. And, you sometimes trust the person that you're with, but you really don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So, young folks, stay protected. I don't
You
care
heard?
how long you have been with that person.
Mm-hmm.
You can know that person for 3 years and you still don't know what they're doing.
Preach on that, Bella. There
Yep.
you go. Words and
Preach.
advice from
Preach.
Bella directly. You don't know. So, for folks that may
No.
not know, right? They don't know where this person's situation is. Maybe they haven't established trust like that. What are some recommendations that you can give for your young peers about keeping themselves protected?
I mean, there's female condoms.
And what female
Ooh.
condoms? Wait
Talk
a
now.
minute. There are female condoms.
What's the tea?
Ladies and gentlemen, and folks of all beautiful genders, there are female condoms. Look at that. All
The
right.
baggage shows you how to put it. It's like a big ring, and then you squish it. You stick it in your,
You're gonna make a song about it. You squish it, you stick it in.
in your favorite, your most important part of the body for the females out there, and you stick it and stay protected. It lasts about like 8 hours.
8 hours, exactly. So with the female condom, if you don't have other condoms available, typically the male condoms as they're known, or the regular condoms, I feel like condoms is condoms, but female condoms, you can actually insert it in for the young women or female-bodied folks, and you can insert it in, and you can actually have it for 8 hours. So my recommendation, folks, if you know you're going to be at a party later, or if you know somebody and you think that something may happen, this is a great opportunity to get yourself super protected. Like this is advanced precaution. It's prevention, right? So I may go to this party. I may be feeling somebody I know. Whatever. Stick a female condom in. And where can you get female condoms from?
You can get it at the office, like at the house.
At the health center. Exactly.
You can get it. I think the stores, right?
Some
They have it
stores,
rated.
yeah.
Pharmacies.
Some pharmacies, exactly. So some pharmacies say have it. We have them here at Galaei. Stop by Galaei,
Come on in.
grab a couple, and we will actually show you how to. We will physically demonstrate how to properly insert a female condom with one of the models that we have here. So in case folks, it's gonna take some practice, but you got some female condoms perfectly. And what's over here? I see that you have. What's another form of protection that we have?
Condoms. This is
Condom.
lifestyle extra strength.
Extra strength condom.
Extra.
And so, your extra strength condoms that you have, folks, there are so many different types of condoms. Some of them, have you heard, Bella? Sometimes you hear some male body folks that say, oh, I don't like to put on condoms.
There's ultra thin
Oh.
that you could also use. There's lube. There's every type of pleasure that you can think about. Don't just go by, oh, I like it,
You heard?
straight raw.
Right.
You hear it?
Right.
Straight raw.
Just being honest.
That's true.
That is the
Straight
truth.
raw.
That is true.
Also, for fingering.
For fingering. All right. So
Oh,
any
it
type
all
of
would be.
hand motions. Maybe somebody doesn't want to have sexual intercourse, right? Because that's also an option for young people. You don't have to have sex, pure intercourse sex if you don't want to. If you want to fondle, if you want to do some fingering motions like you mentioned, right? We have here, what are these, Bella?
Gloves.
We have some gloves. Now, these ones you see, and I will demonstrate. They have black gloves, and I like how the black gloves look. It's like a little design. They have black gloves. They have blue ones, purple ones. You can get them in different colors. Folks use gloves to protect themselves against any type of skin-to-skin bacteria, because you don't know. You may not always know what happens. Again, and some folks like to do it just to kind of spice things up in the bedroom, depending on. So there are gloves available. Again, we have these types of sex packets at Galaei where you can get some gloves.
And
what
lastly,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about dental dam.
All right,
Mhm.
dental dams. What are
Okay.
dental dams
Okay.
specifically for Bella? Tell us.
This is for lick.
Lick. This is for lick. I like that. Uh-huh.
This. So, dental dam is like a condom,
Mm-hmm.
but it's flat.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use it for female now.
Yeah.
Or you could also use regular condoms that you
Mhm.
put on the boy or the
Mhm.
male.
Mm-hmm.
You can put it. So these are especially for females. They got all flavors.
All flavors.
Banana, grape,
Oh.
strawberry, all type of flavor. So you can't make no excuse.
Uh-huh.
So also it has like how to make a dental dam.
Right. So we got that information. Like Bella mentioned earlier, you can create these actually from the regular condoms. and it has all the directions. I will show those directions. If you stay tuned at the end of the video, we will post those directions, specifically how you can create one out of a regular condom. You don't have dental dams, but you want to protect yourself during oral sex. Like Bella mentioned, during oral sex. That can include it's vaginal oral sex or anal oral sex, depending on what you like. Again, here at Galaei, you know, we're very sex positive, but we want folks to be protected and also to have all the help and knowledge about it. If somebody, a teen, for example, wants to have sex, okay, or there's like sexual intercourse that goes about, you know, there's this thing called like giving consent, right? We hear about consent. There's been some cases on the news around situations around consent, some big kind of trials that have happened. What is consent, Bella?
So I wrote it here.
To be clear, she has it.
I have all backups, okay?
All right.
So it's an affirmative, strong, freely given yes. So if you're under the influence of alcohol, you know, and let's say the girl is under the influence.
Okay.
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody, right?
Let's get it clear.
We celebrate all relationships, all right? But so, in this one, you're using a girl, okay?
Yeah, I'm using a girl.
All right.
Because in a lot of cases, girls have been raped. That's another thing.
Rape is a big issue. And I think you're bringing up a really good point, especially with rape against young women. It happens to a lot of genders, but I think rape specifically a lot has happened to young women because there is lack of consent, right? So repeat that again for me. Consent is what?
An affirmative, strong, freely given yes.
An affirmative, strongly, freely given yes. What are some scenarios that could come up with consent? Give us an example, a true or false example, and then Dave and I will try to answer it. Okay?
Okay, so I have a person who has passed out can give consent for sex.
Who's passed out?
Who's passed out?
Who's passed
So they're not conscious.
No.
So they can't speak.
No. They're just...
So obviously
they're really, really drunk.
So that'd be false, right?
Yes.
Because they can't give consent because they are passed out. They cannot freely physically say yes or no.
Right.
This happens at a lot of parties. Don't get it twisted. You can't. All right. So what's another true or false question?
Another one is being under the influence of drugs or alcohol can make it difficult to give consent for sex.
I would say
That
that's
is true.
Yes.
Because you're under the influence, regardless.
You're not thinking.
Regardless, it could even be both people are under the influence. But if you are under the influence, you cannot give. Why? Because it's not affirmative, and it's not freely. Your mind is trapped somewhere else on the drugs and alcohol.
So please think, because there's consequences behind all this stuff, and you know there's victims actually that don't speak about this, and they should speak about this. They should go and speak about this if they have been a victim.
All right, and this is a tricky one. I know you have another question in here. This might be really good. This is a very tricky true or false situation. Give it to us, Bella. What is it?
Okay, so a person cannot say no after sexual intercourse has started.
So a person cannot say no after sexual intercourse has started.
A person cannot say no.
So if you already have started,
you're saying they can't say no.
They can't say no.
Is that true or false?
Is it true or false?
I'd be like, that's false.
I would say it's false too.
I feel like anyone should be able to say no at any point in time because because they're still having the opportunity to give consent. So even after sex, folks, even after sexual intercourse has started, you still have the right to say no. If you are uncomfortable in a situation, say no. What are some ways, Bella? Show me some ways of how someone can say no. You know, do I just say like, no? Or
okay. Good.
Show me what a good no looks like.
No. Listen,
no.
I'm too high or too drunk to have sex with you. I don't feel comfortable having sex right now. We could do it at another moment where I'm freely, like in my mind, I want to say yes.
You see this? You saw that she was firm. She put the hand out. She said no. She said when I'm in the right mindset. And she said we can do something else. Give options if you want to. I don't want to do this right now, but let's hold hands. You know what? I don't want to do this. Can we cuddle? Can we go watch a movie? Can we go bake cookies? I like baking cookies. You like baking cookies?
Yes. Chocolate.
Chocolate. Let's go have some
right
chocolate
now.
chip cookies.
Some tea, something. Let's
Do
go
something.
outside.
Tea.
Let's go outside, take a walk down the park. So
Right.
those are ways in which to give an affirmative, no, or yes. I would mimic Bella because that was a beautiful example of it. Any other last minute thoughts, Bella, you feel like with young people and having and sex and sexual health, you know, where can they go get tested? You mentioned it briefly. They can get tested.
They can get tested for HIV and STDs.
All right.
They also could get free condoms and, you know, female condoms, dental dams, and all that stuff, and also counseling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could come and join, you know, I could say a community, but this is basically like a family.
It's a
It is a
family.
family.
Absolutely. Todos somos aquí familia. So, folks, you will hear when you come to Galaei, we really are a family here. We support one another.
Absolutely.
We give each other information, advice, and help. And all of us do it all the time.
Absolutely.
And as you see here, this was an issue that was really important for Bella to talk about teens and young people with their sexual health and some great advice that she gives us. Any last minute advice that you want to give to your peers?
Social network.
Social network.
Just real quick. Social network, females and males, anybody.
Mhm.
Please be careful who you talk to on the network because they can appear. You can also go watch To Catch a Predator.
Yes.
That's a funny show that me and Dave
Mm-hmm.
were discussing this last week about,
Right.
like, To Catch a Predator.
Yeah. Be careful on the Instagram. Be careful on the the Facebook. Be careful on the Facebook and the Cara Libros. Be careful on YouTube, on Craigslist, on social. Be very
apps,
careful
the little
on all the little
iPhone
apps that are on
For
iPhone.
meeting people
With meeting people,
that you don't know.
keep it. For me, I'm like, keep it traditional. If I don't know you face to face, I don't.
FaceTime the person.
Ooh,
That's a good
that
idea.
is a good one.
You,
FaceTime.
that's how you can use social media to your
FaceTime 'em.
FaceTime the person, because they might be like, my name is so and so, and I look like this, and then you're like, all right, well let's FaceTime.
Right. We've all seen Catfish. We've all
FaceTime
seen
or-
Catfish.
Just Team Catholic.
What's the other one? It's FaceTime and also
FaceTime, Skype,
Uvu.
all those. Uvu.
Skype,
Skype,
Uvo,
Uvu.
all
Right.
of them.
You want to know who the person is. That's really great.
And take your
advice.
friend with you for the first time.
Take a friend with you. You
That
feel
is
like
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Take somebody with you.
have a game plan.
Amen.
You have heard from a teen perspective, a teen voice around sexual health, sex, and young
Good at that.
people. Bella gave us some great advice. Talk with parents. You want to talk with your child? Be honest. Be honest. Be honest, open, give accurate and correct information. Talk to your children calmly. Bella demonstrated different types of forms of protection if you choose to have sex. Because remember, you don't have to have sex. Abstinence is also key. But if you choose to have sex, we showed forms of protection. We talked about consent, what actual real consent looks like. And for all that and more information, Bella, would you recommend folks to do their LTI here at Galaei?
Yes, 100%.
So if you
They
have
help you,
uh-huh.
and they also, you know, give you information. They have a lot of brochures around. You could, you know, if you're going to be a project based on STDs, it doesn't have to. It's transgender, STDs, HIV. There's a lot of stuff that you could do your project on. It's not boring because it's something that you could teach people.
Absolutely. So if you look on the screen right now, it's going to pop up. Boom! There's Galaei. There's all our information. You can hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter,
Instagram.
on Instagram. We are on Instagram
we
too.
everywhere,
We
bro.
are everywhere.
Everywhere, bro.
Hit us up. Let us know if you're interested at El Centro to have your LTI here. You're interested in some of these issues that we talk about. Again, we are here to serve the Latino and LGBT community of Philadelphia. We talk about sexual health issues. We talk about social justice issues. We always have a breadth of information, knowledge, help, resources. Todos somos familia aquí in Philly. If you want more information, again, www.galaei.org. You can see it on the screen right now. Bing! And if you're interested in more of our CafeConSexo show, hit us up on YouTube at CafeConSexo. If you're a teen and you have some advice to give, go ahead right now and Twitter us or write us on Facebook at CafeConSexo. Let us know what your teen thoughts and also teen tips that we need to keep ourselves protected, to keep ourselves safe, and to have a breadth of knowledge and information like this wonderful teen right next to us, Bella, has given us today. Thank you, Bella,
Thank you very much.
for being here and sharing
Of course
your
not.
knowledge. I'm Nikki Lopez,
I'm David.
And I love it.
and she's Bella, and this has been your episode of Café con Sexo.
Thank you very much.
Catch us next time.
Bye.
Dejaste en mi casa. a tu aro.